I, 30F, thinking of ending things with 35 meters boyfriend if he doesn't propose by spring. I have been with my boyfriend for almost 3 years this month. About 10 months ago I told him that I wanted to get engaged some point this year. 2023. We had been together a little over 2 years and I didn't think that was crazy. He absolutely freaked out. He pulled out every excuse and said he needed to get his career figured out. He has no job ATM. He needs to make more money. His dad is sick. And he also said we need to work on things. We had been fighting a lot mainly about this issue because he knew getting into a relationship with me that I want children and marriage in my early 30s. So he ended up saying I think spring 2024 is realistic to get engaged. But we're getting closer to that date, so I mentioned can we start looking at rings in a few months? Because I have no idea what I like. And again he got annoyed. And I said is the spring still realistic, and he said, I don't know. This time frame, which has been plenty of time for a 35-year-old man to decide, and I told him you have to break up with me. And he said, I love you, I don't want to lose you. I just won't put a date on it. My questions is, our lease is up end of November 2023 and I want to know should I move home to my parents or old roommate who is looking for a roommate? Or should I disagree to sign the new lease at all? How do I convey I have a deadline without sounding crazy? Also for context, I am his first real relationship. His longest before me was 5 months. He may also a mild case Asperger's and has said it himself. Emotions are hard for him to process sometimes. Don't sign the lease. It isn't going to happen. At least not working the time frame you're hoping for. It's your life. You're not forcing him to propose. You're taking yourself out of the equation. It's clear to me that you wanting to marry me at this time is not a hell yes, so I won't be renewing the lease with you. I was hoping to be there for you while your dad was sick and you figured out your career and you made more money, but if that's more important than me, then I'm gonna leave you to it. I married that guy after 6 years of waiting. We discussed getting engaged at the 2-year mark. He's telling you it's not a priority. Believe it. My husband threw the fact I made him get married in my face constantly after we got married. All I asked for was a timeline or to let me go find someone else who'll marry me. It's not worth it. It's a horrible feeling knowing they'll only propose with a shut-up ring. Spare yourself the disappointment and divorce and find someone else. This guy is not enthusiastically moving forward and you have made it abundantly clear that you want to be engaged and married in this time frame. He may love you and doesn't want to lose you. And he's also not doing anything to progress the relationship into the future you envision. Give notice and plan to move into your own place. He has reasons for not wanting to marry you. But how often do those change? A person who wants to marry you will do it. There aren't any hurdles or impediments. He may not want to marry. He may just be chilling until he meets someone he does want to marry. He may well love you. But so what? You don't want the same things. He wants to stay single. Believe him. Tell him, I love you, but I'm not going to wait for you to make up your mind. I want to be married and have a family, and that isn't going to happen with you. Because it won't. At this point in your relationship and at his age, he should know if he wants to marry you or not. Don't renew the lease with him. Don't sign the lease and don't marry a man you have to drag to the altar. If he's not enthusiastically walking next to you, he's not the one. People keep saying you don't need to get married to have a family. Okay, keep that advice for yourself. For the rest of us who actually want to get married, babes, he's not going to marry you and you're 30 not 25. You know this game. Get out of there. You don't renew the lease with him and you break up now. Just leave now and stop wasting time. Why on earth would you string the both of you along to the spring to see if he'll magically do what he needs to do to not lose you? He's already made it abundantly clear that he's not ready to be married, or is not ready to marry you. He's clearly not excited or enthusiastic about settling down right now, and it's something you really want. You're incompatible. Period. He literally gets angry when asked about it. Why would you want a forced proposal from him? Even if he does propose at this point, it is because you're basically giving him an ultimatum? I wouldn't want to start a marriage that way. I would hope that my partner would be equally as excited to start our lives together. Stop pressuring him and just leave. You want different things and you don't have time to waste if you want a family in a few years. Stop trying to make this guy fit into what you want, and find someone who actually wants the same things. Communication and compromises are fundamental to any relationship if they want to last. I don't think you are unreasonable to expect at least some feedback from him about his timeframe and expectations. He behaves like a 20-something guy hiding from responsibility. I don't think you are on the same page and maturity level. Move out and move on. Find someone who is or in line with your life goals. He doesn't want to get married. Lease is up November 2023? He would have proposed already. A long time ago. He is betting you're afraid to lose him and will just keep waiting. If he wanted to propose to you, he would. Simple as that. He doesn't want to marry you. If he did, he would. It doesn't seem like he wants to get married. It's a lifetime commitment he may not be ready for or just not with you, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tells you about a ring when you leave him. Do not sign another year's lease. You are on different paths. He's not ready or doesn't want that with you, and you have a timeline. He's already strung you along for longer than you want. It's okay to care for each other and not be meant for one another. You are not crazy. Why is it that on every post like this there's a handful of people like, me and my BF have been together for ages and we're not married because I don't care about it, it's a piece of paper, okay. That's great, but these posts aren't for you. A large portion of people, including OP, do want marriage, and to them it is more than a piece of paper. And it is objectively. He's 5 years older than you and he's getting angry when you bring up this topic and giving you BS excuses. I know quite a few people who haven't finished their career training yet and they're engaged to be married with a set date in their early 20s. He doesn't want to marry you. You're 30. Just leave. He's not going to propose in spring. Move out. Do not sign a new lease with him. That will either be his wake-up call, or the end of the relationship. If he wanted to marry you, he would do it. He's not. So don't waste your time on this guy. He either doesn't have a plan for what he wants in his future, or it doesn't fit what you want. But don't let him waste your fertile years. If he wanted to, he would. Guy perspective here. When I got engaged, the ring was on her finger within days me picking it up at the store. Because I wanted to. Don't let him waste your time. I'm sure that a marriage stemming from, if you don't marry me I'll leave you, is going to last forever. Note that I'm not saying that you wanting to get married is crazy. Just that you need an honest conversation. Ask him what he wants, and if you are not on the same wavelength, leave. No ultimatum. No begging for a ring. And OP, are you and your boyfriend in the financial situation to afford a child? The move back with my parents bit and the need to figure his career out left me with a doubt. If you have to beg a man to marry you, you're gonna end up divorced. If he wanted to marry you, he would get the ring before you even mentioned it. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content.
Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.